Let's head to North Carolina. And Sonia, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Sonia, you're on the air.
Hey there.
How can I help you?
I have, in the last 5 years, been diagnosed with 3 different autoimmune diseases. I've also struggled with depression and anxiety for...
Okay, well, stop.
Okay.
You say some pretty heavy things there, and you moved on without explaining. What 3 autoimmune diseases do you have?
Hashimotos, Fibromyalgia, and Sjogren's.
Okay, well, none of those are autoimmune diseases.
Okay.
Okay, so that should give you some relief. Okay. Hashimoto's is a thyroid disease, which is not autoimmune. Fibromyalgia is a simple multiple mineral deficiency, and it has a component to it that is a malabsorption thing, usually gluten intolerance. And then Sjogren's disease is caused by osteoporosis of the skull. It's kind of a variation on Bell's palsy. Instead of your face sagging, the parts of the 7th cranial nerve, the facial nerve, that control the tears in the eyes and the saliva in the mouth get squeezed, and they stop producing tears and saliva. Okay? So you can be comfortable that nothing you have here is a autoimmune disease. In fact, there is no such thing as autoimmune disease except when a kid is born with no immune system. Okay? So whoever told you that stuff should have their license taken away for something. I don't know, reckless endangerment, insurance fraud, whatever. You don't have those diseases. Okay, so we got that out of the way. What else do you got?
Renal tubular acidosis.
Okay, now you have acidosis. Why do you have acidosis? Are you starving yourself to death?
I got my first kidney stone in 2007, and they did a test, and that's what they came back saying that I had. And I've been taking potassium ever since.
Okay, kidney stones are caused by calcium deficiencies. There's another deficiency disease. Kidney stones are always, 100% of the time, caused by raging osteoporosis. I've written many scientific papers on it. I've done autopsies on hundreds of people and thousands of animals that have kidney stones, and it's always an osteoporosis, calcium deficiency. So you've been going to the wrong group of people, okay, giving you misinformation. What do you weigh here, Sonia?
About 135.
Okay, and how tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, and how old are you?
42.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
No? Is that a no?
No kids.
Okay. Have you had miscarriages?
No.
Okay. Never been pregnant?
No. I've actually had a hysterectomy.
Ah, okay. Now, do you have a history of anything like irritable bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disease, constipation, diarrhea, anything like that?
Yes.
Which one, or all?
I got diagnosed with irritable bowel a long time ago, but...
How did I know that?
Huh?
How did I know that?
I don't know. That's just what they told me.
Well, I'm going to tell you after this break. You hang on, dear. I have solved your problems already in less than 2 minutes of questioning. I want to find out when we come back how many years you went to doctors, how many doctors you went to, and how many medications you were on. And if you're interested in our energy drinks, our sports drinks, our coffee, Java Fit, which is a wonderful publicly traded company, made us a publicly traded company, and it's the greatest coffee on earth. Howard doesn't have to make all the money. Give us a call. And you want to get a hold of this book called Energy Crisis. Every chapter is one of the ingredients of the energy drinks and sports drinks. It also goes into how the body metabolizes and produces energy from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And, of course, it goes into the history of coffee and tea and where they get their energy from and how the various components of these natural substances work. That's Energy Crisis, the book, and there is a CD by the same title. And you'll be an expert in energy drink, sports drink, coffee, and tea when you get done with that book, Energy Crisis, and the CD, Energy Crisis. Okay, Doug, let's go right back to North Carolina. And Sonia, okay, well, basically, I'm going to set you free here, young lady. Number one, you have to give up all gluten. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. I'd urge you to get a hold of that CD called Cereal Killers because gluten is hidden in everything. People think, well, I gave up bread. That's not enough because it's in everything. They use breadcrumbs and cracker crumbs for meatballs and meatloaf. They use wheat flour to thicken tomato soup. All the sausage-type meats, the filler is wheat flour. There's wheat in yogurt. There's wheat in ice cream. There's wheat in everything. Okay, chocolate milk. For instance, they use it to thicken everything. In fact, rye is used as a extender for coffee and tea because it's so expensive now. They're actually using rye flour as an extender. And so if you have a gluten intolerance, you cannot have wheat, barley, rye, and oats. You have to change your eating habits and drinking habits and so on. So I want you to get a hold of that CD, Serial Killers. I want you to get a hold of the book Hell's Kitchen because there's a nice big section in there on gluten intolerance. And then I would like you to get rid of all the fried foods out of your life, all the processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, no oils. It means no margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressings, cooking oils. If you eat canned fish, they got to be packed in water, mustard, tomato sauce, not oil. And then I want you to take, looking at all the stuff here, I want you to take one healthy bone and joint pack per month. Cut it in half. That'll be a tablespoon, which is a half ounce, of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner. I want you to take one scoop of the Beyond Tangerine NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner. The 3 EFA Plus is designated for one day, one at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you're also going to have one large bottle of the glucogel. Okay, I want you to take 5 glucogels 3 times a day, but you won't be able to do that with one bottle. So I want you to get an extra bottle of the glucogel. That'll allow you to have 15 glucogel capsules a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll tell you about that in a second. And then I want you to get an extra quart of the OsteoX Plus because I want you to take an ounce at bedtime with a glass of water because you have raging osteoporosis. Okay, now this will also help support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, bone itself, because Sjogren's disease, remember, is a manifestation of Bell's palsy, which is caused by osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the roots of the 7th cranial facial nerve. Fibromyalgia is a disease of, it's almost like lupus. It's kind of a cousin to lupus. And so in addition to the one healthy start pack, the extra bottle of the glucogel, the extra quart of OsteoX Plus, I also want you to get 2 bottles of selenium a day. I want you to take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help support and promote muscle health for the fibromyalgia. And because you have the thyroid problem, you also need to give up cruciferous vegetables, no cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, because they interfere with thyroid metabolism. And then lastly, for the thyroid, I'd have you take what we call Ocean's Gold. I want you to take 2 of those tablets twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month of Ocean's Gold. Call me every 2 weeks. I want to know your weight. I want to know things like muscle pain, joint range of motion. I want energy, how well you sleep, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to be a new woman here. And by getting rid of the gluten, you're going to deal with the IBS, your Reval syndrome. If you have any brothers and sisters, they got to get on the same diet. If your mom's still alive, she's got to get on the same diet because she gave it to you and all your brothers and sisters, and so on. And if you have, well, you don't have any children, but if you have brothers and sisters who have children, the girls have passed it on to their kids, and so they have to get on a gluten-free diet and all the 90 essential nutrients. Their kids have to get on it. Failing to do this, they will lose something like 25 to 50 years of their life, and what life they do have is going to be nothing but misery. You've suffered terribly all these years without necessity here. I'm going to ask you one question. Actually, it's a 2-part question, but it's one question. How many years did you go to doctors with all this stuff and nobody told you about gluten intolerance and the 90 essential nutrients? How many years and how many doctors?
6 doctors.
30 years?
6 doctors in probably the last 12 years.
Yes, okay. See, they should all be put in jail because you suffered here egregiously, unnecessarily, for nothing for 30 years. You'll resolve this in 90 days. You're going to be a new woman. And what I want you to do is be my poster girl here. Okay, so I want you to call me every 2 weeks. Give me a progress report or a lack of progress report. We're going to walk you through this. We're going to make sure everything works for you. And then I want you, like I say, to be a poster girl, and I want you to be sure to share all your information with everybody.